Hey, I'm Shakira Black and this is my April book haul. This month I have just got library books to show you because I really need to cut down on the money I'm spending. I do intend to do an unboxing for Easter. I have a book set that I have in mind that I'm going to order, but that's the only books that I'm going to try to buy this month, though I'm probably going to be buying some for my daughter for her birthday. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the books because these book hauls are taking too long, and if I know something about it then I will say a quick word about it, but I'm not going to read the blurb or go into it for too long. So first up is Illumini, which I've obviously now got in book form because I had it on Audible and I sent it back because I just couldn't listen to it on Audible. This is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Basically, it's lots of like little bits like transmissions and proposals and letters and arrest reports and stuff. Science fiction book. I think it's set in space, so I'm gonna have a read of this soon and see what I think. Next up is Alice in Zombieland by Gina Showalter. I read First Life on Audible for recently. I did it in my book haul and in a book haul, the audiobooks and ebooks one. This is, I think it's something to do with Alice in Wonderland, but I don't think it concentrates. I think it's more zombies, so it's a zombie book. I love zombie books, so I am looking forward to this, and this is getting shiny on here, and that's because of the plastic cover. Next up is, this is a fantasy. I don't know anything about it except that it's a fantasy. It's Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and it says that she stole a life. Now she must pay for her with her heart. Okay, next up is, I think this is another fantasy. It's The Demon King, which is book 1 of the Seven Realms trilogy by Cinda Williams Chima. I don't know anything about this except for I think it is fantasy, and I think I saw someone hauling it in a book haul. Right, so this book is the first 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. I think this is about a man that lives all his life and then he dies and then he is born again and he lives another life and another life and another life. I don't know why. I don't know if there's any reason behind it. I think there probably is, obviously, because you know. But yeah, I did like the sound of this, so I've got it from the library, and I will have a read of it sometime soon. Okay, this is the first book in my actual book haul that I did last week. I hauled a book called The Wish Granter, which is a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin. This is The Shadow Queen by C.J. Redwine, which is the first book of the series, but I think they're both standalones, like companions to each other. I think this is possibly a Snow White retelling. I do like retellings, fairy tale retellings, so yeah. Next is, this is the second book of a series. It's Ice Like Fire by Sarah Rash. The first book is Snow Like Ashes, which I've already read. It is a fantasy, and the light's reflecting on the plastic of the book, of the library book. It is a fantasy. It is one that I really liked. It concentrates on this girl, and yeah, I do recommend this. Obviously, the first one, which is called, like I said, Snow Like Ashes, and I think there's a third one come out, possibly, or coming out. Okay, so next is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I think this is about a boy with disfigured face. That's all I know. But the thing is, you know, issue based is good books to, you know, good thing to read. So I thought I would get this from the library and read it. Okay, so next up is the book that I'm actually reading at the moment. This is Replica by Lauren Oliver. This centres around two girls' lives. There's Gemma. Right, so this is Gemma's story. Right, and then there's Lyra. And this is Lyra's story. So basically it's the two girls' story, but the Lyra's story is here and going backwards, and Gemma's story is here and going, you know. So, and then they end, there's two stories end in the middle, and supposedly you can read one girl's story and then turn it over and read the next one, or you can read it chapter by chapter. So far I've read the first 4 chapters of Lyra's story and the first 2 of Gemma's. I must admit, so far I've found Lyra's story much more intriguing. But yeah, I'm going to read the next 2 chapters of Gemma's, and then I'm going to try to do chapter by chapter. But I like the concept of this. It's just a little bit different. So now this is a book that someone, I went to an event with Blackpool Libraries yesterday called Wordpull, and someone that I spoke to there recommended this, said it was a historical book by a lady called Karen Maitland, who writes historical novels. I think this is probably quite a researched historical novel. It's called The Falcon of Fire and Ice, and it's to do with the Inquisition. So yeah, I will have a go and see what I think. Okay, this is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I have actually ordered the other 2 books in this. I think it's not a trilogy. I think it's going to be 7 books from what I've heard. But yeah, I wanted to read this. I don't actually know anything. I think it's probably a fantasy. I don't know anything about it. I think I did read the blurb, but I can't remember what it said now. Okay, so last up is 2 books. I've got An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir, and I've got the second book, A Torch Against the Night by Sabah Tahir. I think this is, I don't know if it's set in Rome, but I think it's sort of, I think it is set in around Rome and that time period. But it might not be, I don't know, but I think it is inspired by the time period, and I have heard about it. Other booktubers have said about it and raved about it, so I thought I'd give it a go and see what I think. And I'm hoping it is Rome, because I do actually really like historical novels. I especially like ones for sort of like before 7th century. So like, you know, this time period, yeah. So that is a nice short book haul of 13 books, which I'm going to put back on my library bookshelf. I've actually got another 9 waiting for me at Lancashire Library, which I will probably be picking up on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. But I will be trying to read these first, because yeah. So yeah, that's it. Bye.